Hello, everybody. Mr. Ringler here. I am one of the 8th grade U.S. history teachers at Edgewood Middle School. Over the past several years, I have sponsored the Edgewood Middle School Washington D.C. trip. This is for any current 7th grade student who will be an 8th grade student at Edgewood next year. I am offering you guys an opportunity that I'd highly encourage you to take advantage of if you have ever been interested in learning more about our nation's history and viewing some of our most amazing buildings in Washington, D.C. So, again, who this is for? This is for any 8th grade student of the next year. Okay, this will happen during fall break of the 2020-2021 year. We will travel to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. We will take a tour of the Gettysburg battle sites, the town of Gettysburg. And then after that, we will take our bus. We have a nice big charter bus. Our bus into Washington, D.C., where we will continue our sightseeing, adventures, and fun. Okay, so some things here. It says when, again, fall break 2020-2021, we will depart Edgewood Middle School on Wednesday, October 21st at 8 p.m. We will travel to Gettysburg and then to Washington, and eventually Saturday night we will leave Washington, D.C., and we will head to back home to Edgewood. And we will arrive there sometime Sunday, October 25th, right around 6 a.m. or so. Okay. Why? To give students a better understanding of United States history, to see numerous monuments and buildings, and also to have a fun trip with friends. I like to tell my example, my experience with this trip. When I was in 8th grade, I was fortunate enough to be able to also go to Washington, D.C., and this is something that I remembered to this day, all the sites that I was able to see, the fun times I was able to have with my friends, and the learning that did take place back when I was in 8th grade. So I wanted to bring this opportunity to Edgewood and share the fun times. Down here, you'll see some pictures. Over here, this was my first trip taking students. We had a small group. This was the year of 2018. This is our picture in front of the U.S. Capitol building where laws are made. This was our last year's trip, 2019-20 trip. We got our group picture taken there with Uncle Sam in front of the Supreme Court. This is where laws are interpreted. And I also wanted to show you a sample itinerary. So this is from the year of 2018. Pay no attention necessarily to the dates here. They're kind of off for our 2020 trip. But it says here Wednesday we'll load later in the evening. We'll arrive at Gettysburg. We do not eat breakfast at McDonald's. We have a nice kind of buffet breakfast style restaurant that we typically go to. We will tour the Gettysburg site. There are numerous different areas that we will see, and then we'll also, towards the end of the trip at Gettysburg, we will go into the souvenir store and let the kids kind of mosey around there and buy any souvenirs that they would like to purchase. We will then depart for Washington. We'll eat lunch. Most of our lunches do take place at food courts, trying to keep the overall cost of the trip down. And then we will see some other kind of memorials. Typically, we like to go to the Lincoln Memorial right away because that's kind of an iconic place. MLK's I Have a Dream speech happens here. And also, Forrest Gump runs into the water and kisses Ginny. So, a little pop culture movie reference for you. We will then eventually, during the trip, sometime go to Arlington Cemetery. This is probably one of the most eye-opening experiences for all of the kids. One of my favorite parts of the trip, being able to select some kids to present a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier It's kind of an eye-opening and an emotional ceremony, and something the kids really, really connect to. Okay, we'll have some dinner, and then eventually we'll check into our hotel. We've kind of built in our Thursday for the 2020 trip. We will kind of just check into our hotel a little bit earlier than this would say. I've altered things as we've gotten used to the trip. We will simply have a pool party, a game party. We'll have some pizza. We'll kind of chill here on Thursday evening because a lot of you kids will be exhausted from probably not sleeping on the bus and touring all day. Okay, we'll kind of just chill out in the hotel and get to bed somewhat early so we can tour. The bulk of our tour will happen on Friday, so we can tour Washington D.C. here. Okay, this is just an example from our 2018 trip. It will change for 2020. We've added some new things in here. We'll still see FDR and MLK memorials, World War II, Washington Monument. We'll try and get to the Holocaust Museum. We have added the Spy Museum this year, which is pretty awesome. Things such as Ford's Theater, lunch at Pentagon City. Eventually we go to Mount Vernon, the home of George Washington. Beautiful, beautiful property located on the Potomac River, especially in fall when the leaves are starting to change color. We'll also go to, I believe it's called Union Station, there in downtown Washington, D.C., and eat lunch one of the days. That's really a fun place to be as well. Okay, a lot of touring, a lot of travel, but again, a lot of fun, loads of fun with your friends. Okay, I also wanted to this is our 2020 registration form. Unfortunately, all of these packets that I did receive are at Edgewood right now, and I'm not able to get those, so I will be able to send you a digital copy of this if you would like, and we can get that submitted to my travel company. Okay, so if you look up here in the upper right hand corner, I use Classic Tours. They are based out of Auburn, small little family owned tour business. They have been great with me. They're so flexible. They have their own tour guides. They do all the legwork, so I can kind of just sit back and supervise and enjoy the trip. So I'm very thankful for Classic Tours. So this is kind of our registration. Gives you some info. I'm not going to read it to you word for word. Tells you what days we're leaving. So our fall break this year will fall on Wednesday, October 21st. We'll leave Wednesday evening. We will return Sunday morning, October 25th. The cost here, it says, is $682 per student. This pretty much includes everything. Okay, your transportation will take a nice big charter bus with Wi-Fi and DVD players and a restroom. You get your accommodations at the hotel, all of your meals, sightseeing admission fees, activities, accident insurance that we have not had to use, but it's nice to have that in there as well. So I do want to make you aware of this. It says adult occupancy request is not guaranteed and depends on the number of adults registered. Each adult is responsible for finding roommates and contacting either Classic Tours or Mr. Ringler about their choice. This year we're doing something a little different. I want to really just limit this to the 8th grade students. Okay, if we do need to fill some spaces here, it says based on a minimum of 35 participants per motor coach. If we need to fill some spots to get these kids to be able to go to Washington, D.C., I will open it up to parents. But right now, I'd prefer just to leave this as an 8th grade student trip only. And again, chaperones. I will be one of the chaperones. We have some other Edgewood teachers that will also be chaperones as well. Okay. There's some more information here. Again, I can get this sent out to you in a PDF. All you need to do is reach out to me in my email. It's dringler@warsawschools.org. Okay, and I'll just scroll through this again. You'll simply just fill this information out. Check student, quad, unless you want to pay for the triple or double or even single occupancy. Okay, fill this information out, and we need a parent or guardian signature here. Several different payment options. You can, if you feel comfortable doing it, you can pay by card, you can pay by check, and I believe our tour company will allow you to phone in some payment options as well, if that's something you are interested in doing. I'd love to work with you to see if we can make this trip possible for your children, for the future 8th grade students next year. Again, if you have any questions about this trip, please feel free to reach out to me with anything that you need answered. All right, hope you guys are taking good care of yourselves. See you later.